moment. Come to the top edge of your mat, standing up nice and tall. And all I want you to do right here is just take a nice deep breath in, lifting the arms up overhead. So you can lace the hands together, press the palms up even taller, and just feel that stretch all the way along your spine. One more deep breath here. You can release the arms, bringing them back down. And then we're going to take a big stretch up again. And this time as you exhale, you're going to let yourself come forward. So bringing the arms down towards the floor, you can tuck the chin. If the hands don't reach, you can just grab onto your elbows and let the upper body hang. So just coming into your first forward fold. You can pedal the feet, so bending one knee, straightening one leg, just getting a little bit more movement into the hamstrings. And then from here, just take your hands to your shins and bring the spine up halfway. So flatten your back, maybe straighten the legs a little bit more, and just lengthen through the spine here. So we're not dropping the head. And then you can go ahead, take the hands down to the mat, step your feet back, and just lift your sit bones up and back. So coming into your first downward facing dog. You can keep the knees bent, you don't have to have the legs straight. If you have a little more space, you can go ahead and weight the heels down as you come into your downward facing dog. And we're just gonna keep moving here. So when you're ready, you're gonna start to arch the back up towards the ceiling and just wave forward into your plank. And then you can bend the knees, start to press the sit bones back. Lengthen through the arms, lengthen through the spine. And the legs don't have to go straight, you can keep them bent. If you want a little more space in the backs of the legs, you can go ahead and weight the heels down. And then when you're ready, start to press through the balls of the feet, arch the spine up towards the ceiling, wave forward into your plank. Bend the knees, press the sit bones back, downward facing dog. And then one more time, you wave forward, back into your plank. And then you can press back, downward facing dog. So from here, add a little movement, pedal the feet, reach one heel down, and then the other. Just pedaling back and forth, getting that stretch all the way into the calves. And then start to walk the hands all the way back towards your feet. Come back into that forward fold. And then slowly roll your spine up to standing. Good. So from here, just stand up nice and tall, roll the shoulders back a couple of times. And then you can roll the shoulders forward. Good. So adding a little bit more of a stretch here. So bring the arms up, grab onto one wrist, and you're just gonna side bend here. So pulling that arm over to the one side of your body. And really focus on separating the ribs here. So lots of space all the way down that one side. Lift back up, grab onto the other wrist, bending the other direction. Good, and then you can lift back up. So from here, just come back into your fold. So nice and slow, just making your way down. And then we're gonna go ahead, bring your hands to the hips here. So notice your elbows, try to squeeze your elbows towards one another. And then tuck your chin, bring your gaze towards the knees, and just engage your stomach muscles. So trying to close that space in between the ribs and the thighs by using the stomach muscles here. One more deep breath. And then we can inhale, lifting up, bring the arms up overhead, grab onto your wrist, side bend. Maybe find a little more space this time, really stretching through the one side of the body. And then you can lift back up. You grab onto the other wrist, bend over to the other direction. And then you can lift back up. Just bring the arms together behind you this time. So
Hands are laced together. You can straighten the arms, you can keep a bend in the elbows. And then soft bend in the knees, lift the heart center up. Exhale, coming forward. So letting the head drop down, crown of the head is lengthening down towards the floor. And then you can keep your shoulders, your arms along your spine if you feel like you want to stretch the shoulders a little bit more here. You can peel the arms away from your back to add that shoulder stretch. Again, keep using the stomach muscles to close the space between the ribs and the thighs. And then really press through the feet to help you lengthen through the backs of the legs. So before you come up, release the hands back to the hips, and then inhale to rise. Stretch the arms up overhead, lace the hands together, press the palms up nice and tall. And we're gonna come back into that fold, but this time you can take your feet out a little bit wider. So widen out your stance here, and then as you exhale, you come back forward. And this time, if you have the space, grab onto your big toes. So again, tuck the chin. And first, just straighten the arms, flatten the back. You can keep the knees bent. You don't have to have the legs straight here. And when you're ready, you bend the elbows out wide, pulling yourself into a deeper fold. So finding a little more space in the backs of the legs. Lengthening the crown of the head down towards the floor. And just keep looking between the knees right here so that you're not straining the neck. Just keep the neck nice and long. Release the big toes, hands back to the hips, and then you can inhale to rise. Good. So from here, big stretch up. Exhale, we come forward. Inhale, half lift. And then this time, when you plant the hands, you're just gonna take your one foot back. So it doesn't matter which side. One foot steps all the way back. You bend into the front knee. And then you're just gonna pick the arms up, coming into your warrior one. So lots of space here. So just starting to open up the hips a little bit more. And just check in. So your shoulders are facing the front edge of the mat. The ribs are squared to the front edge of the mat. So we're not opening the hips here. We're just trying to keep the hips squared. Extending the arms up. Keep breathing here. And then in this pose, we're just gonna add another shoulder stretch. So you're gonna bring the arms down. You can bring your left arm on top, or whatever leg is in front, just bring the arm on top, and you can bend the elbows and hold here. So if this is enough, you can linger here. If you have the space, you can braid the arms. And then if you want to deepen the stretch, you can lift the elbows, letting the fingertips rise. And just feel that space in between the shoulder blades. One more breath. And then release the arms out wide. Just open across your chest. Again, lace the hands together behind you. Pick up that back heel and just start to shift forward. And if you can, maybe you want to bring yourself into that warrior three, just working with your balance. Maybe just for a breath. Start to bend that front knee. Float the toes back down, plant the heel, arms come up, warrior one. And then you can go ahead, bring the hands back down, step back into your plank, bend the knees, press back, downward facing dog. You can weight the heels down. And then when you're ready, other foot can come forward and you drop the back heel down. So we come into warrior one on the other side. So just breathing here, squaring the hips, squaring the shoulders, lifting the arms up. One more breath. And then you can add that shoulder stretch. So you're crossing the elbows, so stack the elbows one over the other. You can just bring the hands up. If you want to braid the arms, you can do so here. And then you can slightly lift the fingertips up to deepen that stretch. Go ahead, release the arms, open up the chest. You can lace the hands together behind you. Pick up the back heel and just start to lean forward. So you're shifting your weight into that front leg. If you want to challenge yourself here, you can start to shift forward, seeing if you can float the back leg off of the floor, coming into your warrior three. Bend that knee, see if you can softly land the toes back down. Warrior one. And then from here, plant the hands, step the feet back, downward facing dog, so you can keep the knees bent here. Wave the shoulders forward, press back into your plank, bend the knees, move the hips back, downward facing dog. And this time, lift up one leg. So nice and high, coming into your three-legged downward facing dog. And when you're ready, bring that knee in towards your chest and step that foot all the way through. So we're gonna come up into your warrior two this time. So bring your hands to your hips, bend that front knee, let your hips sink down. And then you can add the arms. So reaching the arms out, shoulder level, letting yourself sink the hips even lower. From here, take your elbow down to the thigh. If you have more space, you can take your hand down to the floor. And then you're gonna reach that other arm out over the ear. Keep letting the hips stay open. One more breath. So strong legs, windmill the arms back into your warrior two. And then from here, you're gonna straighten that front leg, open the palms up, move the shoulders forward, and you can lower the hand down to the shin, and then stack that palm over the shoulder. So you can be looking up, you can bring your gaze down towards the bottom foot, whatever feels better for your neck. And then go ahead, bring the arms back up. And all you're gonna do is pivot the feet so that you can come into a wide fold here. So toes and heels in a straight line, and let yourself come forward before we switch sides. The crown of the head lengthens down towards the floor. Go ahead, plant your palms down on the mat, or if you need a block, you can use a block here. Extend one arm up towards the ceiling. Just adding a little bit of a twist here. Go ahead and unwind. Other arm reaches up. And then you can unwind. Bring your hands to your hips. Inhale to lift the spine back up. So now all you're gonna do to switch sides is turn that one foot towards the back edge of your mat. So hands to the hips, sink down into your warrior two. You can add the arms. Breathing here. Elbow can come down to the thigh, or you can take the hand down to the mat. The arm extends overhead. Strong stomach muscles. Inhale, lifting back up into your warrior two. And from here, you just straighten that leg, open the palms, move the shoulders forward. Lower the hand to the shin or to the block, and you stack that other arm over the shoulder. Use your stomach muscles to rise. And then you can bring the feet back to the long edge of your mat. So inhale one more time. Exhale, coming forward. Maybe you grab onto the ankles this time and just come into one last fold.